Hello to you, my fellow Gooners, and welcome to Arsenal TV. This is my preview for Olympiakos versus Arsenal in the Europa League round of 32 first leg. This game is going to be tomorrow at 8 o'clock kickoff UK time. Now, the last time that these two sides met was back in 2015 in the Champions League, where Arsenal came away with a 3-0 win away from home. But this time around, this game is not going to be as easy as that. What do we know about Olympiakos? Now, they dropped down from the Champions League this season. They finished third in their group of Group B, and they only picked up 4 points in the 6 games. But with that said, the Greek Giants are actually currently unbeaten in Greek Super League. And they have so far, and they have got 24 games unbeaten. The only thing is with Olympiakos, they have been very consistent this season, and they have actually been quite dominant as well. Now, they are also in the semi-finals of the Greek Cup as well. So they've got a very, very good season. Now, their manager, Pedro Martins, now, he's had to deal with a lot this season at Olympiakos. He's had so many injuries. One of their best midfielders was out injured. One of the best attackers was out injured. One of the best centre-backs was out injured. But I think he's done quite well for Olympiakos to be unbeaten this season. Now, Pedro Martins, their manager, now, his preferred formation is actually a 4-2-3-1, same as Arsenal, where he likes to play with a number 10. But due, to the injuries that he's had, I think in this game against Arsenal, he will be playing with a 4-3-3. Now, and that means that he will focus on midfield, and he will actually suffocate that midfield. So Arsenal will struggle to get, past it. And I think that's where the game is going to have a massive battle, is in the midfield. Olympiakos, I think during this game, they will try and control possession of the game and try and keep Arsenal off the ball. And I think that they will try and dominate the pace of the game as well. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, and they will actually put out a really, really strong side, I reckon, for this game. Because for them to drop out from the Champions League for this season, I think it'll be they will find it very important that they can try and get further in the Europa League, hopefully. At the stadium, Olympiakos' ground, it is very hostile atmosphere. And I'm not saying it's very hostile because of drums and flares and stuff like that. It's going to be very hostile because of the voice of the fans, the passion the fans show. And I think that's why it's going to have a hostile atmosphere, just because of the fans. And I would like to know, how is the Arsenal players going to cope with that? Because they're mainly not used to the hostile atmosphere like that every week. In terms of Arsenal, what do we know? Well, Arsenal have finally won a game in the Premier League. Last time out, we got a 4-0 victory against Newcastle at home. A lot of people will say it's Newcastle, but Newcastle have beaten the top 6 sides this season. They've beaten Man United, they've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten Tottenham, and so on and so forth. But we managed to get a win. Now, I know Arsenal was very poor in that first half, but the second half, what a turnaround it was. Absolutely brilliant. We had goals from Aubameyang, goal from Pepe, a goal from Mesut Ozil, who we've been criticising for this season, saying that he doesn't score that many goals. Well, he finally got a goal. And nonetheless, the final goal came from Alexander Lacazette. Finally, he finally got a goal, and I'm so happy for him. The joy he had when he scored was absolutely brilliant. Now, I think Mikel Arteta will know that Europa League is probably the best route for the Champions League this season, in terms of our positioning in the Premier League at the moment. So I think I'm not saying he'll put all of his eggs into one basket, but I think he will know how important it will be. I reckon he will play a very, very strong side for this game, and I hope that he does put out a strong side. Now, I think in this game, I think for our players, I think mentality is going to be key in this game, and intensity as well, I think will be key to this game as well, because if Olympiakos is going to pack up that midfield, it's going to be very, very hard to try and, you know, break him down. And I think that the mentality has to be right to go out there and win. And I think what's more important about this game against Olympiakos is that Arsenal has to get the away goal. That's the most important thing in this game. As I said, it's not going to be easy. And I think that if we get the away goal, we will have the advantage to take our, you know, to the second leg. So it is going to be a very, very tough test for Mikel Arteta. And I think that he has to get the lineup right for this game, or the best players for this game to play. So, yeah, with that said, guys, I'm going to get into my predicted lineup for this game. I'm going with what I would go with. So starting off in goal, I'm going to go with Martinez. Pretty plain and simple. He's our Cups goalkeeper. And do you know what? To be honest, he's actually done pretty well when he's had the chances. His distribution is good. He's kept some clean sheets as well. So I've got no problem with having Martinez in goal. We're going to go to the defensive area, the flat four. First off at right back, I'm going to go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I don't know why this guy is not being picked. You know, he's played well in that position recently when he has, you know, played. So I'm going to stick him in there. I've been watching, you know, other videos as well, and a lot of people have said that Bellerin is sort of losing his pace. I will agree. I agree. He has sort of lost his pace, and that's because of his ACL. So it's nothing more than that. But for this game, I'm going to go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Playing at left back, I'm going to go with Kolesnik. I think this is the time for him to come into this game to get some minutes. This will be his first game back from injury, so I am a bit worried because of, you know, the intensity for this game. But I think that we need a bit of physicality at the back, and I think that Kolesnik will be ideal for this game. So I'm going to go with Kolesnik. We're going to go with the two centre-halves. First off, I'm going to go with Mustafi. Mustafi's been quite solid in the games that he's played in the Premier League. And to be honest, I think that he'll be ideal for this game. Maybe you can look at it and think, well, you know, he's not really the physical type, like the likes of Socrates or David Luiz, for instance. But I can't drop him. I think Mustafi's been playing brilliant in the games that he's played. So I'm going to go with Mustafi. Playing alongside him, I'm going to go with Socrates. This is Socrates' first game back from the illness. But I want him to put in a good performance. I am worried about him because he hasn't had that much game time. But he needs to be fully there in terms of his mental wise. So I'm going to go with Socrates. We're going to go to the midfield pivot. First off, I'm going to go with Lucas Torreira. I think he needs to play in this game. I know there's been a bit of a doubt that he hasn't travelled with the squad due to, you know, he's a bit unwell. But they have said that if he's well enough that he will meet him over there. And I think Torreira is the type of person we need because of his, you know, defensive-minded, his interceptions. And I think that having him would be ideal for this game. So I'm going to go with Lucas Torreira. Playing alongside him, I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. I think Granit Xhaka has been solid in the games that he's played. And I've got no reason to take him out at the minute. I think that he will be important for this game. You know, so he can sort of dictate the pace of the game. And I think playing alongside Torreira, I think, you know, that's our best midfield partnership. So I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. We're going to go to the attacking area, the three that sit in front. First off, out on the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. Nicolas Pepe actually played quite well against Newcastle. He scored the goal. He got 2 assists as well. And I think he's, you know, he's been here, what, 7 months now. So I think he's now adapted to the Premier League and the pace of the game. And I think playing against a European side, I don't think he'll have that much problem in this game. I think he'll be key for this game of his directness and his pace as well, and his trickery. I think this will be a very ideal game for him. What I would also like to see from Nicolas Pepe is, you know, switch sides every now and then. Try not to stay on the one side for the whole game. You know, mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to go with Nicolas Pepe. Playing out on that left-hand side, I'm going to go with Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli's been quite impressive in terms of European games as well. I believe he's got about between 7 to 10 goals, I think, in Europe, in Europa League. So I hope he keeps up with the firepower. And I think with his pace on that left-hand side, I think he will cause Olympiakos problems. So I'm going to go with Gabriel Martinelli. Playing in that number 10 role, I'm going to go with Denis Ceballos. As we know, Mesut Ozil has not travelled to Greece for this game because he's due to become a father for the very first time. So congratulations, Mesut Ozil. And I think, you know, with Denis Ceballos, I think he'll be ideal because Denis Ceballos can play in that number 10 role as well. He had a good game against Newcastle as well, so I've got no reason to drop him. So playing up front as a leading striker, I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, this is no disrespect to Alexander Lacazette. I know Lacazette got his goal and you would expect him to play to keep his, you know, his confidence in that. I'm going to go with Aubameyang because of his pace. And, you know, he's our top scorer. You know, he's scored goals in Europe as well as, you know, in Premier League as well. I've got no reason to drop him. I believe he's got 17 goals in Europe. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So guys, there you have it. That's been my preview. That has been my predicted lineup. Let me know in the comments box as always. Do you agree or do you disagree? What you keep, what you change, and let me know of your predicted score. As I said, this game is going to be very, very tough, and Arsenal need to keep the momentum. So that's what I want. I want Arsenal to keep the momentum and build on that Newcastle win. And try and keep possession most of the game. I know that's what Mikel Arteta is trying to do. But I think we will come out as winners. But as I said, it'll be very, very tough against Olympiakos. But for this game, I'm going to go with an Arsenal 2-1 win. Guys, if you are new to Arsenal TV, you know what to do. Make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you do not miss another upload. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, which is very, very important for the channel. And make sure you are leaving your comments below. Guys, until my players' ratings after the game, I will see you a lot soon. I am out of here.